I'm Maura. I'm a Distinguished Teaching Fellow and a Faculty Director at the Haas School of Business at UC Berkeley. There's no more important time probably in history to think about narrow-mindedness and to begin to crush it and tackle it than now. In part because the solutions to the most pressing business problems or in government or in our own personal lives are going to require new innovative solutions, and they aren't going to be the old ones. We see so much disruption in the hospitality industry, in the car industry, in government. Why don't we see changes coming when they're right before our very eyes and actually brewing for some time? It's because of our own narrow-mindedness. You say, Maura, my narrow-mindedness? No. That's the other guy or the other woman. That one that lives in the other part of the country or watches the other TV station or runs that other company or went to that other college. We always think it's somebody else. Well, I'm here to tell you that the research says it turns out it's actually you and me. We are actually all hardwired to be narrow-minded. From the moment we wake up, we are bombarded with so much sensory data. Did you know that every 2 days, the world is creating as much data as we did from the dawn of civilization to 2003. So we have got to be world-class at dropping, sorting, deciding from that sensory overload what we want to pay attention to and what we want to ignore. Narrow-mindedness helps us survive the onslaught of all these details, all these emails, allowing us to become the functioning, productive people we are. But it can and does result in spectacular, sometimes tragic errors. So I'll give you an example from science and medical discovery. There's lots of them, but here's a really interesting one. 30 years ago, 2 medical researchers, Barry Marshall and Robin Warren, they thought that it was actually a bacteria, not acid in your stomach, that caused ulcers, and yet that was not conventional wisdom. These 2 doctors couldn't get anybody to fund their research. Rejection letter after rejection letter. Barry, convinced of the evidence that he had seen in his lab, and more than a little desperate, decided to fill a beaker full of this bacteria with a little beef broth. He gulped it down. He developed severe gastritis, finally outed himself to his wife, and ended up in the hospital. And after taking a course of antibiotics for only 2 weeks, he was cured completely. When they published these results, top scientists labeled them madmen instead of heroes and called their hypothesis crazy. The medical industry's narrow-mindedness didn't allow them to see past this hard data and reverse their way of thinking. Fast forward, scientists started replicating it, and turns out these were biomedical revolutionaries. They went on to win the Nobel Prize. I want you to answer 3 questions. How are you being relentlessly curious about not only curating the solutions, but really understanding fundamentally what the problem is? The second one is, how are you ruthlessly challenging the status quo? And the third is, how are you courageously encouraging dissent and diversity? I'd love to hear from you about your current challenges and share with you more information about how owning up to narrow-mindedness can create innovative and revolutionary solutions to problems in business, government, and in life. Thank you.